Hey there, good people. This is Josh from Joshua Lappin Fitness back again with you. And today we're talking about another round of nutritional topics. You can check out some of our previous videos where we started this topic of macros and how to calculate your macros. Like I said, you can see all of how to do that in another video. In this particular video today, though, I want to show you, again, my macros, but more importantly, after knowing what my macros are, how I put that into action and created a diet plan that will meet those macros on a daily basis. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, these are my macros. This was built off my profile, 39 years old, approximately 5'11". My weight goal is 175. For this purposes, I consider myself doing light exercise because I only lift weights 3 times a week currently, and we're trying to basically maintain weight. So that comes out to this macro calculator, which I adjusted. I actually moved the protein up. The protein was more around the 140s or 150s, which is the 0.8 grams per body weight. I want to be closer to 1 gram per body weight, so I bumped that up to 175 to match my body weight, which in turn adjusted some of my carbs and fats to compensate. But all in all, coming out to around a total of 23 or 2,400 calories per day. Okay, so we've established that is my baseline. Now, what is important is, what does that look like? Okay, so ignore some of the stuff at the top. This is just me experimenting with some different numbers. This actually should be closer. If you want to see the exact thing, if that makes you feel better, there you go. All right, so what I've done here, and what I recommend you do also, in whatever way is convenient for you. Some people do this in spreadsheets. Other people have apps that they do this in. I like to create spreadsheets, so this worked out just fine for me. Plus, I don't want to pay for an app when I can do it myself. So basically what I've done is I've broken down my meals, portion sizes, calories, proteins, carbs, fats, and I also broke out saturated fats. For my dietary purposes, which I generally recommend you would follow something similar, is I eat approximately 6 times per day, 3 larger meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then snacks in between each of those meals as well. How you space that out is going to depend on kind of your lifestyle, but generally you want to be eating something every 3 hours. So for me, I usually start my day around 5 a.m. So breakfast is around 5 to 5:30. My next snack would be somewhere between 8:30 and 9 o'clock usually. Lunch is around noon. Second snack is around 3, dinner around 6, and then somewhere between 8 and 9 o'clock when I'm getting ready for bed, I eat another snack. Okay? So we'll kind of break down the diet here in just a second, but as you can see at the bottom, this was the totals that came out when I put all this together. And if I can, I'll shoot these side by side. As you can see, my calories are within 5 calories of what was recommended. Protein just a little high, but that's okay. Carbs right there, and fats right there. So really, really close. So what I had to do is I took all the foods that I like eating, that I can tolerate eating on a regular basis, and I put them together and played around with the numbers until I got it to come out where I wanted it. Another thing you should know about my diet philosophy, it's pretty simple actually. Couple of rules of thumb. Number one, we're eating 1 gram of protein per body weight. So you can see 175 recommended. I've got 177 plus there. Also, another rule of thumb that I follow is trying to eat at least 3 servings of vegetables today and 3 servings of fruit each day. So as we go through that, you will see those listed. Obviously, to come up with the protein total that I need, I have to eat a significant amount of foods that contain high protein. So you'll see that. And for carbohydrates, I primarily eat usually 4 different things other than the vegetables and the fruits. I eat a lot of rice, a lot of potatoes, oatmeal, and occasionally whole grain pasta or whole grain bread. So that is the majority of what I do for carbohydrates. On this, you're going to primarily see me eating chicken, but I do eat other things occasionally, such as steak or fish or ground beef. My vegetables are a combination of raw and frozen. So with the raw vegetables, sometimes I eat them raw. I'll eat them straight out of packs that I make myself. I buy the vegetables in bulk, and then I just kind of cut them up and I put them in little packs, and I kind of munch on them throughout the day or for a snack. For vegetables, I also, for dinner and lunch, I guess I should say, most of the time I'll either eat steamed vegetables or frozen vegetables. And I rarely eat canned vegetables. Although if that's something that you want to do, that's not necessarily a bad thing. All right, so for my breakfast, it usually breaks down something like this. I eat a lot of hard-boiled eggs for breakfast. Not saying that you have to, but it's just convenient. I can make a big batch of them, and I can just kind of eat them as I want, and I don't have to spend a lot of time in the morning preparing breakfast. So I eat a lot of boiled eggs. I'll eat 2 actual full hard-boiled eggs with the yolks, and then 3 of the other ones I pop the yolks out and just eat the egg whites. The idea with that is to get some of that saturated fat in, but not too much. I also eat a cup of oatmeal and usually a piece of fruit, either an apple or an orange. So that's meal number 1. Also with each meal, we're trying to generally get around 30 grams of protein. That doesn't always happen, but that's kind of a good rule of thumb for you. The next snack is usually a handful of mixed nuts. Also trying to get that fat intake number per day, but keeping the saturated fat down, trying to get good fats. So we've got the mixed nuts, and then that's where I'll eat like a bag of those raw vegetables that I kind of put together. Lunch, this is a pretty typical lunch for me. We'll have a half of an avocado sliced again for the good fat content. Some mixed vegetables, usually frozen out of a frozen bag that I warmed up. A cup of rice or potatoes, it can change. 4 to 5 ounce piece of chicken breast, and then for like a little dessert and as a way to get some more fruit in, I'll eat a couple of dates. Snack during the afternoon, this can vary a little bit. Typically I have some more fruit and something with protein. This could be a protein bar, it could be a protein shake. That's usually what it ends up being, one of those two. And then for dinner, I usually have, again, some sort of vegetable, either rice or potatoes, either chicken, ground beef, steak, piece of fish, around 4 to 5 ounces of that. Now, this is an option too that I'm playing around with. Sometimes I'll drink a shake before bed, which will be a casein shake. If I'm not doing that, then I'll usually eat a cup of yogurt before bed as well. It's got like 15 grams of protein. So those are foods that I feel comfortable with eating on a regular basis. Very high in nutrition. Comes out to exactly my macros. Occasionally for dinner, in substitute of the mixed vegetables or the broccoli, I'll throw in a salad too. I do a lot of shopping at Sam's Club. Another equivalent of that would be something like Costco. Basically, I buy these pre-made salads that the salad's already in there, and it comes with a little pack of dressing and toppings in there. They're healthy-based salads, and sometimes I'll eat those in substitute of the vegetables here for dinner. So, like I said, basically what I did is this took me over a month, maybe even 6 weeks to get this really dialed in. I really had to spend time just creating the perfect balance of the foods that I liked and the right portion sizes. So I think I linked to some of this in some of the other videos, but there's various websites that you can go to online. The one that I liked a lot is, I think it's called Fat Secrets, and you can basically find all the for each portion size you put in, it'll give you the breakdown of calories, proteins, carbs, and fats. And then from there, you just kind of keep playing with it until you figure out what works best for you. This is kind of my baseline. This is my baseline diet. From here, though, I'm working on creating some other variations with other food variations because obviously eating the same things every day, although convenient, it does get a little boring. So I'm looking at some other things to throw in some variation and some variety there. But I just kind of wanted to show you guys how I created my baseline diet. So this is the baseline, so I know where I kind of need to be. So each meal, I kind of know how many calories I need to be intaking and kind of how much protein. And with that knowledge, it gives me some flexibility. So if I do happen to mix something up, or if you're on the go and you can only eat a certain thing in a certain time, at least you know kind of where you should be at the end of the day. Also, too, if I am having a special occasion and I want to go off the diet and I eat something kind of like a little cheat meal, a splurge meal, birthday party, something, something fun, I know what I need to do to get back in line with my goals. So this is the baseline. This is where I need to come back to if things get a little crazy and get out of control. Hope that's been helpful for you. Continue to check out the channel. We're going to have even more nutrition-based content coming up here. In some of the other videos, we'll probably actually go through how I prepare some of this. I do a lot of cooking in bulk. I usually only cook about twice a week so that I can spend my time doing other things like working out and resting from the workouts. All right, so this has been another episode with Josh from Joshua Lappin Fitness. Please check out our website, joshualappinfitness.com, where you can sign up for some free workouts if you're interested in it. Hope to talk to you again very soon.